Last week I talked about the first season of the Timon and Pumbaa show, and now it's time for the second season of this show. So without further ado, let's start. Palm Beach. Timon and Pumbaa want to stay in a hotel without paying for it, and Quint is stopping them. Jamaica Mistake. Timon and Pumbaa follow a bat and reach a haunted house, and now they have to run away from a vampire. Oregon Astray. Pumbaa gets a job for him and Timon, their job being cutting down trees and making a dam for a beaver. Pumbaa is excited but Timon is not. But after a day, Pumbaa gets tired of it. Not Timon though. He realizes that this job pays well, so Timon works so hard that he gets promoted, and now he does the paperwork while Pumbaa does the hard task of moving the logs. Over time, Timon spends less time with Pumbaa, and his boss forces him to fire Pumbaa when the dam is built. At the end, their boss Beaver takes credit for building the dam and fires Timon. But the dam breaks down, and because he took credit for it, he can't build dams anymore, so he's out of job. That's when he becomes Timon and Pumbaa's butler, and they return back to their Hakuna Matata philosophy. New Guinea Pig. Pumbaa starts to find his tusks annoying, so he and Timon try to trade it with the locals for something else. When they realize Pumbaa's tusks has to be removed in a painful way, they run away, and on the way, they realize Pumbaa's tusks are useful and they escape. Isle of Manhood. Timon hasn't given his manhood test, so Pumbaa forces him to do it. Puttin On The Brits. A dog is trying to hunt a cute little red fox, so Timon and Pumbaa do everything to protect it. They fail, but the dog and the fox were actually friends and they were just playing tag. Klondike Con. Timon and Pumbaa are trying to gold mine in a snowy place, but they freeze. Quint comes and rescues them and helps them mine gold. Pumbaa is thankful, but Timon is suspicious. And of course at the end Quint runs away with the gold. I'll find out. A bunch of flamingos are just standing and doing nothing, which makes Timon curious. After a lot of trouble, they reach the flamingos and realize they were really doing nothing. When Timon and Pumbaa leave them, the flamingos start a party. Beetle Romania. Timon tries to eat a madam bug, so she curses him. The next day, Timon turns into a bug and Pumbaa eats him, not knowing that it was Timon. And now Timon has to find a way out. Rumble in the jungle. Timon and Pumbaa are arguing, so Rafiki tries to help. He tries everything, but it doesn't work. So again he goes the reverse psychology route. He tells them to argue and fight for as much as they want. So they fight for a long time, and at the end, they become friends again. Also, this episode has Zazu cameos. Wide Awake in Wonderland. Pumbaa can't sleep, so Timon tells him a few stories and imagines themselves as the characters. Zazu's off by one day. Zazu is the jungle administrator and Gopher is his assistant. But Zazu is fired now because a part of his job is to count every single animal, but he is off by one. So Zazu tries to recount all the animals, but it will take too long. Rafiki comes and tells Zazu that the one animal Zazu forgot to count is Zazu himself. But Rafiki does it by making a reference to the "He Lives in You" moment in the Lion King movie. Also, there was a Scar cameo earlier in the episode. This show makes a lot of references to the original movie, but I always roll my eyes at them. But this episode, up until now, is the only episode that makes a reference to the Lion King movie, and I actually like it. And I am not sure why. Maybe it's funny or maybe it's done in a smart way. Whatever it is, I really like this episode and its references, and that combined with the variety that comes from this episode being about Zazu makes this one of the best episodes of this season. Animal Barn. Timon and Pumbaa see a pig named Mr. Pig.
That's what they call me.
So Pumbaa goes to a competition with Mr. Pig to win that title. Mr. Pig outpigs Pumbaa in every way, but Timon cheats so that Pumbaa could win. When Pumbaa realizes that, he rejects the prize and tells everyone that they cheated and makes Timon promise to never cheat again. Roach Hotel. Timon and Pumbaa are tasked with getting rid of cockroaches in a hotel, and Timon and Pumbaa destroy the hotel while doing it. Africa-Dabra. Timon takes a rabbit out of a hat, and that rabbit asks him to join him to become famous by doing the same thing over and over again. The rabbit ends Timon and Pumbaa's friendship, but at the end they stay loyal to each other and get rid of the rabbit. Don't Bolivia. Timon sets a criminal free, and now Timon and Pumbaa has to find that criminal. Shopping Mauled. The clumsy penguin is back and Timon and Pumbaa do anything to avoid him. Library Brouhaha. Timon and Pumbaa are trying to catch a worm in a library and all sorts of shenanigans happen. Catch Me If You Can, ya. Pumbaa forces Timon to help him save butterflies from a collector. Scent of the South. Because of misunderstandings, Pumbaa makes himself smell good and Timon makes himself smell bad so that they could stay friends, but at the end they learn to accept each other. Monster Massachusetts. Timon and Pumbaa are captured by a mad scientist and now they have to escape. Handle with Caribbean. Timon is the captain of a bunch of dumb pirates and shenanigans happen. Forbidden Pumbaa. There is a planet with a lot of female warthogs but no male warthog. So a robot is tasked with capturing Pumbaa from Earth and making clones of him. So now Timon has to save Pumbaa. Washington Applesauce. A worm is destroying apple farms, so Timon and Pumbaa wants to get rid of it. They do it but they destroy everything as a result. Alcatraz Mataz. Timon and Pumbaa are imprisoned for the crime that they have not committed, so they try to escape and prove their innocence. Oahu Wahoo. Timon has gone mad and thinks a statue is a god, and he does a lot of mad things as his tasks given by his god. I think Canada. Timon and Pumbaa are forced in a fitness program, but their coach actually wants to eat them, so they run away. Zazu's off day off. An elephant is blocking a river, so Zazu has to make him move away. Beast of Eden. The locals have taken a magical golden tooth from a beast. So Timon and Pumbaa give the tooth back to the beast and he, in return, protects them. Sense and Senegambia. Pumbaa can't catch bugs because he has lost confidence. After Timon making the situations worse many times, Pumbaa rebuilds his confidence thanks to the spirit of his uncle and starts catching bugs again. Timon on the range. Pumbaa is mistaken for a gang leader and shenanigans happen. The Man From J.U.N.G.L.E. This one is a parody of the superhero genre. It also has a Pride Rock cameo which is neat. Maine-iacs. Timon and Pumbaa has to work for Boss Beaver to pay their debt, and while doing it, they destroy everything. Fiji-Fi-Fo-Fum, another parody of a fairy tale. Roam Alone. Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba are in a coliseum. Simba is forced to eat Timon and Pumbaa, but obviously he doesn't want to, so they run away. But Simba is captured and he is forced to fight another lion the next day. So at night, Timon and Pumbaa go to the other lion and try to make him not want to fight Simba. They fail, but because they kept him awake at night, the moment the fight starts he sleeps and Simba is safe now. At the end, Queens attacks them, but the Colosseum falls apart and Simba, Timon and Pumbaa run away. Amusement Bark. Timon gets mentally tortured by a kid for an entire episode. Once Upon a Timon. This time, instead of 2 small episodes, we have 1 big episode. That's because it's the origins of Timon and Pumbaa. I know all the lore episodes are not canon anymore because the later projects undid them, if the show even was canon in the first place. But I still like that sometimes this show is more than just a joke. Simba is now the king of Pride Lands, but he's still eating bugs. Zazu complains to Rafiki about the influences of Timon and Pumbaa on Simba and asks Rafiki to do something about it. Rafiki says that Zazu should do it himself. Zazu says he tried, but it didn't work. Then he gets curious and asks Rafiki why Timon and Pumbaa used to be outcasts. He knows Pumbaa is an outcast because he stinks, but he doesn't know a thing about Timon. That's when Rafiki starts telling Timon's story. Timon used to be a part of the meerkat society. Each meerkat had a responsibility, and Timon's job was to guard the back door of the city. One day, the king was out of the city, so Timon left his post to meet the princess. But with the back door being unguarded, a cobra snake uses this opportunity and attacks the city, and seemingly eats the princess. So Timon is banished. Later, the hyenas capture Timon and put him next to a tied up Pumbaa. Together, they run away from the hyenas and become friends. Later, they see that the meerkat princess is actually alive, but captured by the snake. So Timon and Pumbaa save her and bring her back to the meerkat society. As a reward, Timon is welcomed back to the society and is given anything he wants, including marrying the princess. Timon asks the king to let Pumbaa join the meerkat society as well. The king denies, so Timon lets go of everything he wanted and banishes himself so that he would stay loyal to Pumbaa. I know Timon is selfish sometimes, but this episode is one of the main proofs to show that deep down in his heart he is a good man. Home is where the hog is. Another big episode. A tribe of warthogs send a help signal. Timon and Pumbaa go to help them. Turns out it's the same tribe that Pumbaa was banished from, and their princess is Pumbaa's ex. The warthogs are attacked by an army of birds, and Timon and Pumbaa help the warthogs to get rid of the birds. Bumble in the jungle. There is no dialogue in this episode, only the music and the animation that moves to its rhythm, and it drags too much. Episodes like this should be short, and there are more than a few cartoons that do this type of episodes much better. Mind over Matterhorn. Timon and Pumbaa want to go out of the country, but they don't have passports. So they try to sneak their way out in all sorts of slapstick ways. And now here is my ranking of season 2 episodes. 40. Amusement Bark. 39. Bumble in the Jungle. 38. Oahu Wahoo. 37. Roach Hotel. 36. Shopping Mauled. 35. Wide Awake in Wonderland. 34. Library Brouhaha. 33. Palm Beached. 32. Puttin On The Brits. 31. Klondike Con. 30. I Think I Canada. 29. Handle with Caribbean. 28. Maine-iacs. 27. Fiji-Fi-Fo-Fum. 26. I Don't Bolivia. 25. Alcatraz Mataz. 24. Washington Applesauce. 23. Sense and Senegambia. 22. Beast of Eden. 21. Forbidden Pumbaa. 20. Zazu's Off Day Off. 19. Monster Massachusetts. 18. Timon on the Range. 17. The Man From J.U.N.G.L.E. 16. Mind Over Matterhorn. 15. Rumble in the Jungle. 14. Jamaica Mistake. 13. Isle of Manhood. 12. I'll Find Out. 11. Beetle Romania. 10. New Guinea Pig. 9. Oregon Astray. 8. Scent of the South. 7. Catch Me If You Can. 6. Africa-Dabra. 5. Animal Barn. 4. Home is Where the Hog Is. 3. Once Upon a Timon. 2. Roam Alone. And 1. Zazu's Off by One Day. And here we are, season 2 of this show. As you can guess from the length of this video compared to my previous video, you can see that I'm not as much passionate anymore. And it's not because this season is bad, there are still a lot of good episodes in it. It's the nature of slapstick shows. You know, they are really entertaining when you're watching them at first, but after a while they become boring. This type of shows should not be binge watched. This type of shows should be consumed in shorter bursts. But yeah, because I'm trying to do a review of them, I have to binge watch them, and I got tired of it when I reached season 2. And for season 1 I could binge watch it because as a kid I've only watched a few episodes of this show, and yeah, you know, because it was kind of a new experience, it was fun. But after season 1 the novelty has worn off and now it's becoming boring. So I think only one season was enough for this show, but we will find it out when next week I'll talk about the 3rd season of this show. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Check out this channel next week when I talk about the 3rd and final season of the Timon and Pumbaa show.